Hi Gandhi class, thank you so much for joining our live session earlier. It was so fantastic to see you all. I really enjoyed listening to you guys share what you had learned about history so far. And I thought the questions that you had and the things that you wanted to find out were really, really interesting. And I will definitely try to incorporate them into our history lessons in this term. So for today's session, we are going to be moving on to geography, and our learning objective for this lesson is, can I understand how caves are formed? So in this lesson, you will be able to, and you're going to learn to, name the 3 ways in which caves are formed, and you're going to explain how they are formed. So these are the 2 questions that we are going to be answering by the end of this session. So what are caves and how are they formed? So caves are natural features, openings within the earth that usually reach beyond the reach of light. So they're usually quite dark. They're found in many types of rock, but it's mostly in limestone and gypsum. These types of caves were formed by water under the earth's surface. So that's the first type of cave. The second type of cave is formed as liquid lava that flows in volcanoes. And the third type is a sea cave formed along rocky sea shores. The study of caves is called speleology, and those who explore them are called speleologists. So, my turn, your turn. Speleology. Speleology. Speleologists. Speleologists. So a cave is a tunnel or room way underground, and it's made by nature, not people. It's a natural thing. Maybe from the outside, it looks like this or this. So this is what a cave could look like from the outside. If you go in, what do you think you might see? Pause the video and have a think about what you might see if you went into a cave. So you might see something like this. Or if you go deeper into the cave, you might see something like this. Or maybe even this. So you can see that that's the opening there to the cave, and here. And then the further you go in, it starts to get a bit darker, and you can see that they've got very rough, rocky walls. But what is further down in the cave? What might you see there? So you could see a pointy stone that hangs from the ceiling that looks like this. And this is called a stalactite. My turn, your turn. Stalactite. Stalactite. So these are a pointy stone that hangs from the ceiling of a cave. What else do you think you might see? There's a big stone growing up from the floor. This is called a stalagmite. My turn, your turn. Stalagmite. Stalagmite. And sometimes they can be white in colour. Sometimes the stalagmites and stalactites come together and make columns such as this one here. So it's when a stalagmite and a stalactite have joined together. And sometimes the stone flows out like melting wax, which you can see here. And this is called a flow stone. My turn, your turn. Flow stone. Flow stone. You may even find a big underground room with lots of stalactites, stalagmites, columns, and flow stones, just like this one here. There are even pools in some caves. So you've got pools of water. And some people like to swim in these pools in the cave. Some underground pools are big and they're almost like lakes. Scuba divers also like to dive into cave pools as well. So sometimes you can even go underground within the cave under the water. Inside, you might also find bats. Bats come out at the time of dusk and flock in groups. Bats fly like birds, however, they're rodents, so they're like mice with wings. Inside a cave, you may also see pictures left on the wall by people from a long, long time ago. You can see these cave paintings in the La Salle Cave in France, which is just here. So you can see these pictures. This looks like maybe a bull or a cow. This one here looks a little bit like a horse. I wonder what other animals that you can see in this picture below. So how are caves formed? So the first thing that happens is that water can flow underground as well as on top in the form of underground rivers. Then when water runs over soft rock, such as limestone, it slowly washes it and eats it away at it. Then the acid in the water dissolves the limestone, making a hole which gets bigger and bigger. After that, if the water finds a new path or the water table lowers, it leaves a cave. And caves can also be created when hot lava melts rocks, forming holes, or when the sea water washes away bottoms of the sea cliffs. So this is what a cave looks like from the inside and the stages of how it's formed. So this is the first part. You can see that there is a river here, and then you've got your land here. Now, if we have a look, we can see that there are some cracks within the land and that there is water filling them up. Then, as the water flows more and more through it, it makes the cracks bigger and it's dissolving that limestone. After that, the water table is lowered, so the water starts to get lower into the ground. And then the limestone dissolved from the rocks above the cave is then deposited as stalactites and stalagmites. So then you can see the formation of those there. Okay, your task. So pick either activity 1, activity 2, or activity 3. Activity number 1, you need to draw a diagram of a cave, label the features, and write down in one sentence how they're formed. Activity number 2, using the information from this video and facts from this lesson, write how caves are formed. Or activity number 3, using the diagram on the previous page, you need to write down the processes of how caves are formed, draw pictures to represent each stage, and don't forget to label them. Please make sure that you are choosing the activity that's most appropriate for you, and you are more than welcome to rewind this video and watch it again to help you complete your tasks. Please make sure you upload your work to Tapestry Gandhi class, and I will see you next time. Bye.